Hello friends and my dear students, myself Vandre Shital from Rayat Shikshan Sanstha's Rao Bahadur Narayan Rao Boroke College Rampur. In this video, we are going to discuss a chapter Origin and Evolution of Life. As per the new syllabus of State Board, here the various content of the chapter has been get reduced here, and this presentation is mostly done under the guidance of Honorable Principal Dr. Gaikwad Sahib, Vice Principal Pokharkar Ma'am and Supervisor Kanerkar Sir. Now let's show the content which have been kept in the board for the examination or for the analysis, and major part of the chapter has been get reduced due to the COVID-19. Now let's start first the origin and evolution of life. Now what is the meaning of the protobiogenesis here? This protobiogenesis, that proto is showing the primitiveness. The origin of life on the earth is known as a protobiogenesis, and the various here the characters of the living organism are there. These characters helps for the normal survival of the life on the earth surface. That is growth, it is the major character. After that, metabolism, energy transformation, responsiveness, reproduction, death. These are here the characters of the living organism. And to show the origin of life on earth, there are various scientists, they have proposed the various theories, and these theories may be accepted or rejected, because here without proof the science is not going to accept anything. Science requires here the result and conclusion and experiment. Now let's see here which theories have been put forth for the explanation of evolution of life on earth. The first is the theory of spatial creation. This theory, it was proposed by the Spanish monk Father Suarez. This theory is based on the religious support. It states that the life on earth, it is produced by the supernatural power, that is the God. Means here no science is there, but only God is responsible to produce the life on earth. But this theory is objectionable because here unable to prove scientifically the origin of life on earth. The theory of cosmozoic or the panspermia theory. This theory was proposed by Richter in 1865, and according to this theory, life on earth came from a distant planet in the form of the spores or microorganisms, and it was called the cosmozoa or panspermia. The panspermia are preserved inside meteorite, means the barren earth. The NASA has reported fossils of bacteria like organism on piece of matrium. Though they have explained these, all the things are here, but also this theory is not accepted because again it is unable to prove the origin of life on the earth surface. Now the theory of spontaneous generation. This theory is also known as a theory of abiogenesis. It was proposed by Aristotle in 600 BC. According to this theory, life originated from non-living materials spontaneously. The Louis Pasteur here disproved this theory and gives a scientific explanation that life originated from pre-existing life. But objection to this theory is that it is unable to prove the scientifically how the first life on earth came in existence. The theory of biogenesis. Here, this theory of biogenesis, it was put forth by Francisco Redi Spallanzani and Louis Pasteur. These are three famous scientists. They disprove the theory of abiogenesis, and the theory of biogenesis, though they have been put forth, but they are unable to explain the continuity of life on earth, and according to them, the living organisms are always produced from pre-existing life from reproduction, but they are unable to explain how the first life on earth come, and therefore this theory is also not accepted, though their sentence is the correct that the life on earth is produced from previous life but not from the non-life material, but scientifically they are unable to explain how the first life on earth came. Therefore, this theory is only the explanatory correct, but scientifically or the experimentally they have not get the clear ground to prove this. We are going to show the evolution of a human being and how the classification of mammals takes place here. Here, as the interesting thing is that the Homo sapien is evolved during the evolution. The Thomas Huxley in 1863 in his book Man's Place in Nature made the first attempt to explain the origin of man and established that the closest relatives are apes. After that, in 1871, the Charles Darwin published his idea about man's ancestry in the book The Descent of Man. Both the ideas were misunderstood and it was believed that man has descended from apes. Various available fossil record they have proved that monkeys, apes and mans they are having the common ancestry. The modern man here it is included in order primates and under the class Mammalia. Here this diagrammatic representation shows that the class Mammalia, and this class Mammalia it is divided into marsupials, monotremes and eutherians. Here these eutherians they are follows the order primates. These order primates is divided into suborder Prosemi and Anthropoidea. Again these suborder Prosemi they shows the lemurs as well as the tarsiers, and these Anthropoidea it follows the New World monkeys, Old World monkeys and Hominoidae. Again this Hominoidae it is subdivided into Hylobatidae, Pongidae and Hominidae. Now come towards here the suborder Prosemi. These suborder Prosemi here divided into lemurs and tarsiers. Now what are these lemurs are here? These lemurs they are small arboreal animals and mostly found in Madagascar region. They are having the grasping hands and feet, flat snout, large eyes, facing more in front than the lateral side and long bushy tails these animals are found. The tarsiers are again arboreal nocturnal insectivorous primates they found on Iceland on East India. Their eyes are large directed to forward and have a binocular vision. These animals have the 5 digit with the adhesive pads and most of the digit have nails except the second and third toes of hind limbs. The suborder Anthropoidea is divided into here New World monkey, Old World monkey and Hominoidae. The New World monkeys they are flat noses, they are widely separated nostril, long prehensile tail and the primitive dentition 36 teeth are found. They are found in South and Central America. For example, here squirrel, monkey, spider monkey. The Old World monkeys, they have narrow nose, short, non-prehensile tail and 32 teeth. The Old World monkeys, they are found in tropical region of Africa and Asia. For example, here baboons, macaque, langus, etc. These Hominoidae, they are include ape as well as man, and here mostly they are evolved simultaneously from the common ancestor. The modern apes such as gibbons, orangutans, chimpanzees and gorillas, they are originated here from the primitive apes. Now here this chart is showing that the various evolutionary line of man, and which are here the characters are get find out during which period these animals they are get evolved, how the posture of their body, cranial capacity, and if something special feature is found in this. The firstly evolutionary line suggests that the Dryopithecus they are firstly formed. After that here the Ramapithecus, then Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthal man and Homo sapien. But here these evolutionary line suggests that as per their cranial capacities also get increased, and that the most of the cranial capacity is found in now the modern man, that is in the Homo sapien. Now here the Dryopithecus. This Dryopithecus here, the fossil of this it was discovered by LSB Leakey in 1930 on an island in Lake Victoria of Africa. It is the ape. It lived in the Miocene epoch of 20 to 25 million years ago, and this shows the similarity to the chimpanzee. Its legs and heels indicate that they must have assumed a semi-erect posture recently, and almost complete lower jaw of Dryopithecus has been obtained from the Hatlina in Bilaspur district of Himachal Pradesh. Now here these animals they shows the evolution from Propleopithecus. The second is the Ramapithecus. It is ape man-like primate. The teeth and jaws bones of Ramapithecus it was firstly found in the rock of Sivalik Hill in India by J. E. Lewis in 1930. He lived during the late Miocene and early Pleistocene, means 14 to 12 million years ago. The fossil which are similar feature discovered from Kenya in Africa called Kenyapithecus. They walked on erect on their hind limb. On the basis of this feature, some scientists believe that the Dryopithecus evolved from Ramapithecus, which is no direct line of human evolution. Now the Australopithecus, the first fossil of Australopithecus africans in the form of skull cap of a child was discovered in a lime quarry by worker at Tongin, South Africa, and the specimen was studied by Raymond Dart. They lived in late Pliocene and early Pleistocene epoch about 4 to 1.8 million years ago. The Australopithecus can be considered as a connecting link between the man and the ape. The cranial capacity of them found that 450 to 600 cc. Now the Homo habilis. The fossils of these primitive man were discovered from Olduvai Gorge, Tanzania by Leakey 1964. One of the first known hominidae, it was nicknamed Handyman. Homo habilis evolved in Africa in late Pliocene and early Pleistocene. The epoch about 2.5 to 1.4 million years ago. It lived in open grassy land, moved erect and was omnivorous. The lower jaw was lightly built and the dentition was more like that of modern man. It had a smaller molars and made tools from stone. The cranial capacity of them is 650 to 800 cc. The Homo erectus. These Homo erectus, they are the first true man. The primitive man lived in Java and Peking. They are evolved in Pleistocene period of the 1.5 million years ago. They are having the 5 feet height. Their prolonged face, massive jaws, huge teeth, chin absent, bony eyes, brow ridges are present. The cranial capacity of them is 900 cc. The Neanderthal man, here the Neanderthal man, it was advanced prehistoric man. Its fossil was collected from Neanderthal Valley in Germany by Fulrott in 1856. Neanderthal man existed in late Pleistocene epoch about 1,50,000 years ago, were widespread in Europe, Asia and North America. They became extinct about 25 years ago. They were heavily built and short. They had prominent brow ridge and the skull bones were thick, forehead was low and slanting, the jaw was deep with no chin, outwardly curved thigh bones. The cranial capacity of this was 1400 cc. The last one is the evolution or completely evolved, that is the Homo sapien. This Homo sapien, it is the modern man, and the fossil was discovered by MacGregor in 1868 from the Cro-Magnon rock of the France. Here, this man is still now recently surviving, and the cranial capacity of them, it is the 1450 cc. This chart here shows the human evolution and how the characters they are get followed in each evolutionary line. Okay, these names are also there showing, which are enlisted in this chart, and here this diagram is showing that how the human evolution takes place, and now the modern man which survive in this the computer or internet world. Here this is about, here we have discussed the some theories of evolution and how the human evolution takes place. Thank you.